excellent span of games lately. Kadri was obviously on a dry spell to start off, and
I still haven't seen Joe Colburn.
I know. I don't know where Colburn is. I'm getting worried now because I remember telling you that he was coming off wrist surgery, and he really needed to, get his bearings before he could start scoring. And it's been like, for me, it's been enough time now. Like, if he's not scoring now, I don't know what he can do. They need to like sit him out or something.
Oh, they tried that.
Well, they sat him out once, but he needs to sit out for an extended period of games because, you can knock on Kadri as much as you want. He may be inconsistent defensively. Like, I think it was last night or yesterday afternoon, he was playing, and he had just scored a goal. And then he made a pass to, I believe it was Koska or Gardner, but it was a blind pass to the other the opposite wing, and he passed it thinking that he was going to get to the puck in time,
and he didn't.
And then I forget which player, but a Rochester player got to the puck first, went down the other end of the ice, had a breakaway, and scored a goal on a Kadri misplay. And you can say all you want about his defensive miscues, but he still gets you offense.
Well, that's why they drafted him.
Yeah. They didn't draft him to be a defense. Like, it's like when people talk about Phil Kessel.
So are you defending Kadri then?
I defend Kadri. I like Kadri.
But yet you rip on Bargnani because Bargnani can't play defense and rebound.
First of all, Bargnani, if he's not on ice, okay? I know that's kind of a dumb
thing. But Bargnani's strength is his offense.
And he doesn't, like...
And
his strength? He's not very strong, then. Like...
But people you get on him because he doesn't rebound. He doesn't play good defense.
This is a totally different sport now.
I know, but here you are saying it's okay for Nazem Kadri.
Nazem Kadri is... How much younger is Nazem Kadri? He plays a different sport. He has a bigger... I say he's a bigger role because, I'm sorry, Bargnani, he may have a bigger role than Kadri, but he doesn't do anything about it. It's not like he tries to show people, like, I own this team. He never does that. He may have done that, like, yesterday or the last game he played, but, like... The point is, Kadri's so much younger, and there's only a matter of time for Kadri. But anyways,
who's gonna make
the other two? Hold on. The other two players, because I said there's three.
Yeah.
Fratton and Kadri, Matt Fratton and Jake Gardner.
Mm-hmm. Are those three key to the Leafs' success in the future?
Unquestionably, of course, they have to be. If you ask me right now to put them in order, I put Jake Gardner, Matt Fratton, and Kadri at the end. Kadri, because he's defensively unreliable sometimes, that's why I put him at the bottom. Offensively, you would think that Kadri would be on the top. That's not the case. If you're going to go offensive numbers in amount of games played, Fratton has everyone's number on the Marlies. And... I think he has like 8 points in 8 games or something like that. He had 7 goals in his first 6 games. Like, again, he hasn't played in 7 months, and he's getting these numbers.
That says something for being a 4th-round pick, 99th overall.
And you know what? He was drafted. Drafted by the Leafs. By the Leafs.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Fratton. He's a Hobey Baker finalist in the NCAA. So...
Bozak was too, and
so was Spencer Abbott. I haven't said anything about him, but he was also a Hobey Baker finalist, and he's been on a tear. I forget. I don't know what the stats are. I think it's like 8. He has like 11 points in like 5 games or something like that of playing. Because obviously he hasn't played a lot. They're kind of. It's kind of like a traffic jam of players because of the NHL lockout. So Spencer Abbott, along with Brad Ross, they're not really getting very much ice time. But yeah, like between Fratton and Gardner, you would think that Kadri offensively would be, a little more superior. he is getting more points than Gardner and Fratton, but Fratton just came in to the AHL. Like, he was injured for the first month and a half, right? Where you get Kadri now, he has I think 18 or 20 points in 22 games. And that's good, but I want to see him getting in 20 games 25 points and 30 points. That's what I want to see from Kadri. Jake Gardner, you know what? It doesn't even matter. When he's on the ice, I would love to see him again go up against Justin Schultz. No, I would, because Justin Schultz is supposed to be the second coming of Christ for Edmonton defensively. I mean, and he's leading the league offensively, and that's great. But
you're bitter.
No, I'm not. I'm not bitter, because we have Jake Gardner. You trust me. If you watch Jake Gardner play on the Marlies, he's always consistently making other people look awful.
He did that on the Leafs. He makes his teammates look better, and he can skate circles around the opposing team.
Just yesterday in the 5-4 win, the only reason they lost 5-4 was because Marco Uya, who he had some defensive miscues as a goaltender. But how many games has he played compared to Scrivens, right? And it's a 3-3 night, 3-3 weekend. So they figured, we'll play Uya. He hasn't really played in a while, so we're going to get him some action. And that's fine. So that's why there was 4 goals. But honestly, offensively, the Marlies were explosive, and they're usually explosive unless they get to a hot goalie.
Now, last week marked the 4-year anniversary of Brian Burke being general manager.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you remember the press conference, but he wanted truculence, belligerence, testosterone. And
belligerence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
And we look at the Leafs, and you can look at the farm team, and you can look at Kadri and Fratton and Gardner, and he went after Schultz. And
Fratton's mean. So I'll give him that.
Is he gonna?
I don't even think Fratton. Fratton wasn't even. I don't even think Fratton was drafted by Burke. I think
no, he wasn't.
JFJ was the guy who drafted him.
And you take a look at Brian Burke's picks and his roster and his top 6, and saying he wants to build from the net out. And we have Reimer and Scrivens, who are question marks.
Yeah.
We have Dion Phaneuf and Jake Gardner, who are probably locks. They're good defensemen. Phaneuf has his moments, and then you got question marks, and Komisarek, and Shen was a question mark, and he signed Beauchemin, and has it been a successful 4 years? Because I don't think it has been. Everything he's preached, he has not kept his word at all. If you look at the Leafs, they were more based speed and skill than they were big and tough. Grabowski and Bozak up the middle, and Kessel and Lupul's probably your biggest guy, and then you got Kuhlman and MacArthur.
Lupul's more of a power forward.
He brought in guys like Colton Orr and Mike Brown, and fourth line tough guys, but here we are 4 years later, and it just doesn't seem like...
You're going to measure this on success.
Yes.
In the last 4 years?
Yes.
Okay, first of all...
Don't make promises that you can't keep.
What promises did he say? He didn't say
He said we were going to make the playoffs, we were going to be competitive,
when?
We were going to get bigger and tougher.
When did he say we were going to make the playoffs?
He said it numerous times.
Yeah, but when? For what year?
When people have criticized him, his argument was, we're not going to make it as the 8th seed to get our butt kicked when...
He said that's not what he wanted.
Yes.
That's not what he was going for.
When the LA Kings make it as an 8th seed and win the Stanley Cup.
So, yes, he was wrong about that. That last year, this is pretty recent. The LA Kings win the Stanley... I was about to say Grey Cup. Win the Stanley Cup, being the 8th seed, yes, that he was wrong. But that happened so recently that I don't even know if you can count
the Montreal
that as
Canadiens, as the 7th seed, made the conference finals against Philadelphia. It can be done.
When? Not last
against
year.
Philadelphia. When Halak went on that torrid run, when they beat Washington and they beat Pittsburgh, and then they said, see you later. Carey Price is our man, but...
I love Price.
What do you think of Burke's 4 years, though? Are you happy? I like Brian Burke as a person, don't get me wrong. I like how starts things up with the media, but shouldn't you think after 4 years you should be somewhat competitive?
Okay.
He said this all along.
Let's focus. Let's focus. Okay. First year was a total write-off. You cannot count the first year. Because the first year, he had scraps.
That I'm not blaming him for the first
Even
year.
with Phil
he
Kessel,
went out,
they
he
had
went out and he
scraps.
got Kessel. He'll always be looked at for the Phil Kessel deal. He went out and he got Dion Phaneuf, which was a great deal. He's made questionable moves. He's made really good moves. Like when he made the mistake of signing Boscheman, but he ended up getting Gardner and Lupul. It worked out. But what I'm saying is,
that, right?
why aren't the Leafs where they're supposed to be?
Because
he's taken teams like Vancouver and Anaheim.
Yeah, but how long? Like, how long was he in Vancouver?
He was assistant general manager.